Hey everybody, you're watching CAD Roll Hunter, and today we're going to see if we can salvage this old Canadian penny that is covered with glue and paper. This is from 1888. It is a beautiful coin, and somewhere underneath all this gunk is Queen Victoria. Can we use 100% acetone to restore this coin to its former glory? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel, CAD Roll Hunter. We've got this 1 cent 1888 Canadian large cent that I got in a collection purchase, and it was probably put in somebody's album with some glue, something sticky to get it to stay in place. And you can see that when they took it out of that binder or that folder, half the page came with it. It's covered in paper and it is really adhered to it pretty tightly here. So they might have used a pretty strong glue, but this is an old Canadian coin. Now, when I first got this, I was filling up my Lighthouse Vista Canada large cent album, and I proudly put it in there, vowing to only remove it when I got one better. Next up, we've got an 1888, another coin that in a VG would be about a $4 or $5 coin, but we can't even tell because this one looks like it might have been in an album or taped to a page or something, and part of that page has come down with it. So we won't give this one a value. And I did recently get one that was better, or at least I think it's better, because it was an 1888, but we could clearly see the obverse design. And on this one here, we just can't, we have no idea. And it's usually the obverse of the coin we want to look at to determine what kind of grade the coin ultimately is in. This is circulated, obviously, but is there a lot of detail on the queen? Is it pretty slick? We just don't know. So we're going to use 100% acetone. We're going to put it in this little dish here, and we're going to see if we can get this gunk to come off. So I've used acetone a couple of times before to clean some coins, and I know the prevailing wisdom is don't clean your coins, and I actually agree with that. But come on, are we going to get this coin any worse than it already is? We don't even know what's under there. So I don't feel like we're really going to mess anything up too bad. There are a few things you need to be aware of when you're using acetone. So first of all, the odor can be strong and it can be harmful if breathed in significant quantities. So you'll want to do this in a well-ventilated area. It is winter outside, so I don't want to go outside. I'm going to open the window. But another thing is that acetone is highly evaporative. If I filled this dish with acetone, if I left it here for a few minutes uncovered, it would just dissipate into the air. Now, we want the acetone to cover and soak the coin, so we don't want it to evaporate. So I've got a special lid here. So I'm going to pour just enough acetone in here to cover up the coin, and I'm going to place this lid on it to stop it from evaporating. You don't want to touch it with your fingers. You can wear gloves if you'd like. If you get any on you, you'll probably want to wash your hands, and just be careful. The other thing is that acetone is going to dissolve anything like the glue on here. That's what we're hoping for. But I've used it before, and look what happened when I spilled some acetone on my desk. It ate through the finish here in like 30 seconds. And when I placed the bottle down over here, it actually left a ring of damaged varnish on this desk. So you want to be really, really careful. So we're just going to pour enough in here to let this coin soak, and we're going to let it sit in here probably for about an hour. I'm going to sit it and let it go, and we'll come back to it and we'll take a peek. We'll rinse it off and we'll see, can we get this residue and paper off of this coin and restore it to its former glory. All right, I poured the acetone in here, and we're actually going to drop the coin in there. You can see it. There's not much at all, just enough to cover the coin, and we'll get that lid on it. This lid is actually specially fitted for this size of container, so that acetone isn't going to evaporate, and we're going to leave it sit here for about an hour and come back to it and see what results we get. Okay, 1 hour has passed. We're going to take the lid off this bad boy. We're going to see what's happened here, and you can see that paper looks pretty dark. It's still covered. I'm going to take these cotton swabs and see if we can peel back the paper and see what's happened. It looks like there has been a pretty significant amount of glue this is not really getting it off just yet. We might need to give this more time. We can see it's working a bit here. Might take a little bit of effort to peel that off. We might just want to give it a bit more time. Whoever glued this in did quite a number. So I think what we'll do is we're going to put a little bit more acetone in here. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is rinse this off with water and put fresh acetone. I'll be right back. Okay, I used a Q-tip to get off as much of the paper as I could as possible with a little bit of friction, trying not to rub it too much. I'm going to put a little bit more acetone in here. And what we're going to do is cover that up and let it sit, being careful not to get this on my desk any more than I have in the past. We're going to cover that up once more, and we're going to let maybe another hour go by and see if that acetone can dissolve the glue. Now that it's exposed, I think what was happening is the paper was pretty thick on there, and so it was really having a hard time seeping in. It probably would have worked fine if we let it soak for longer, but we only left it for an hour. So we're going to do that again. One more hour, we're going to come back, and we're going to see how it looks then. All right, another hour has gone by. Let us see where things are sitting. I can still see that residue. We'll grab our Q-tips here, and we'll just kind of see what's going on here. It looks like it's been, oh, I can see it starting to peel back there. It looks like it wants to come off with a little bit of help. I'm not worried about damaging the coin or really scraping it necessarily, but I have a feeling if we left this sit longer in here, we'd probably soften that up even more. It's probably going to make its way off there. Maybe we will let this sit for another little while, see if it's going to soften that up any more than it already is. But you can start to see the features of Victoria in there. I think if we leave this a little longer, it might soften that up a little bit more. All right, we'll come back. Well, I had intended to leave this for another hour, but it has in fact been 4 hours. I got pulled aside, had to go and take somebody back somewhere, so we had family visiting over the holidays here. In any case, let's see what's happened now that this has been sitting for many more hours than anticipated. We'll see how that residue is, and I can still see it on the coin. I can still see that residue, but I wonder if it's going to just come off. It looks like it's just going to pretty much just peel right off. This stuff looks pretty hardcore though. I can still see that it's pretty stuck on there. Wow, I don't know what kind of adhesive this was, but it's no wonder it pulled half of the page off with it. It looks like it's softened up. I don't want to rough this coin up too much. I'm going to take it out of here. I'm going to see if I can just carefully peel that adhesive off, and I'll be right back. So here it is. I just needed to move the Q-tip over the surface a little bit, roll it around a bit. We'll flip it over and check that out. It's actually a pretty decent coin. You can see some marks on here. I think I got all of the residue off. What's likely happened is we've got some possibly damage, something that's affected the surface of the coin, and I don't think it's the acetone itself. I think, in fact, it's just having that adhesive on there for years. It almost looks like a shadow of the face of the queen. But lots of good detail of Queen Victoria for a coin from 1888 that before this, we weren't going to be able to see any of that detail whatsoever. So this is going to give us an opportunity to compare the penny that we put in the album versus the one that we just cleaned up here. The one on the left is the one we put in recently. And this one has more corrosion. I'll just get it into the light there. This might have been buried in some dirt, I think. But it does have some more detail. But you can see some corrosion around the legend. And then the one that we just had definitely has a bit more circulation wear. Not quite as much detail, but it doesn't have that same damage and corrosion. It's got that brown look about it, whereas this other one definitely has that green tinge from oxidation. So Let me know in the comments which one you think. Was it worth the effort to tidy up this one over here? Is it worth putting back in the album, or would you keep this one here? Let me know in the comments. Do we keep the one we've got, or do we update with the one that we just put the acetone to improve it? Let me know what you think of the results. Would you try this yourself? If you have tried it, let me know what your results have been like. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this little experiment, this little video, where we used 100% pure acetone to get some goo and some paper off of this coin here that had been stuck there for who knows how long. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Give the video a like, and of course, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, Capital Hunter, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time. The sponsors of today's video are Lighthouse Canada and the Charlton Press. Lighthouse Canada is the leading supplier of high-quality numismatic supplies in Canada, and the Charlton Press is the leading publisher of coin and paper money catalogs and price guides for Canadian collectors. Go check out their online stores today and use the exclusive discount code CRH20 for 20% off all your purchases.